måste ju stjäla det vi kan stjäla.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean.
Nu skulle jag stått näck här istället.
It's really you.
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Those bastards, they took you from me.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Sean. I'm here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Inte lätt när man blir hjärntvättad.
Damn it. Sean, open the door.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Sean. The real Sean. Right now!
I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
I want answers, asshole. Now.
Under the circumstances, I will forgive your vulgarity, but I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined.
Nej.
You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean.
What?
I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son
Det kan inte stämma det här.
you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60
Men
years?
Kellogg...
That is the reality, and here I am. Raised by the Institute, and now it's Lite.
Men Kellogg kidnappade ju Sean. Och han dödade vi. Vilket måste betyda att Kellogg också var gammal. Jag får inte ihop tidsaspekten som han påstår här.
I hope you're not too overwhelmed.
Jag är inte chockad över att han har blivit en ledare. Men jag försöker bara få ihop. Vi fick ju reda på, som man säger, 10 år. Vi såg Kellogg kidnappa Sean och dödade min fru.
This really is a matter of importance.
Och så har det gått 60 år. Då borde Kellogg, som säkert var 20, vi säger 20-30 någonting. Han kanske var något mer där. Men modifierade, jag tänker... Säg att han var 30 och har 60 år passerat. Det skulle vara en 90-årig gubbe vi dödade där.
Are you following?
They stole you. Kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, The Institute had made great strides in synth production.
Vi kanske får reda på det
It
här
was
nu.
never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course.
Han hade ju nog chip och grejer där. Jag tänker bara mer att han typ var så här modifierad, du vet. Typ Star Wars modifierad.
Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
Jag tänker också så här. Vem var det som sa att 10 år hade passerat när vi kom ut? Alltså den här, jag tänker tidsaspekten där.
I don't believe you. There's no way any of this is true.
I wish there was something to say. I know this isn't what you wanted. But it's the only truth I can offer you.
Jag ska bara kolla lite här, jag har fått mycket notiser.
Are you following?
Så. Jaha. Nej, jag tänkte inte så mycket på årsaspekten så. Jag upplevde det nästan som att
I hope you're not too overwhelmed.
efter att de kidnappade honom, Sean, och dödade min fru, så känns det som att det inte ens gick någon tid alls. Och helt plötsligt, jag kommer inte ihåg när, var, hur vi fick reda på att det hade gått 10 år. Ish. Och nu har det då gått 60 år sedan han kidnappades.
This really is a matter of importance.
You're my son? Then prove it.
Hur då?
I've already told you how I came to be here. I don't know what further proof I can offer that would convince you. I've shown you my trust. Your weapons haven't been confiscated, and I stand unarmed before you. Please, let's just talk.
Ja, men 200 år sedan vi gick ner in i, blev nedfrysta, roboten ja. Men sen kommer ju Kellogg och kidnappar Sean. Och från det så har det gått 10 år någonting. Godnatt Axel, ha det bra, simma lugnt. Eller hur? Att roboten har sagt att det gått över 200 år, det var ju så här själva explosionen skedde. För annars skulle ju tidpunkten är, jag försöker bara få ihop då när han blev kidnappad. Han påstår ju någonting här som, vem var det som sa cirka 10 år? det är liksom där jag tänker.
All right. Let's talk then.
I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Ja, och det är där de har påstått att det gått 10 år. Någon har gjort det. Eftersom det är ju det du sa, 10-årig son.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an institute asset.
Jo, men någon har ju
long
nämnt
before
det,
I
att det har
worked
gått en
here.
kort tid
It
bara.
wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
Nu måste vi kolla lite här.
Are you following? I hope you're not too overwhelmed. This really is a matter of importance.
Ja, men ta det lugnt. Oj.
I hope you're not too overwhelmed.
He was a murderer. He killed your mother.
Believe me, I am well aware of the atrocities Kellogg committed. I suspect there are many more we'll never know of. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
What would you have me say? The world is a dangerous place. Although I think maybe it always was. It's just a bit more honest about it now. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes.
Ja.
I spent decades working to reach this point.
Jag försöker kolla lite info här.
It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
Det jag hittar här, information. The survivor, det är ju det säga jag, karaktären, believes Sean is a baby up until Nick mentioning that Kellogg had a 10-year-old kid with him. Det vill säga att någon har ju sett Kellogg med 10-årigt barn. At that point you can react however you want, assuming it or isn't him. In Dangerous mind you see the 10-year-old and Dr. Amari seems to conclude it is him. Later father will act as it. Okay. Så att när vi ska bryta oss in hos Kellogg där eller något sånt där, då var ju där någonting han hade en 10-årig barn. Det där 10 år kommer ifrån. Och då antog ju nog jag, precis som många andra, att det var troligtvis då min kidnappade son Sean. Eftersom, och då att 10 år har passerat nu, eftersom Sean har kidnappat honom, då var ju även han Seans son, om man säger så.
It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
Your Institute has done some horrible things.
Yes, well, the world is not what it used to be. What about the people you've aided in order to get here? What atrocities have they committed? The Brotherhood of Steel. They believe they're the only ones fit to control technology and destroy anyone who opposes them. And you would side with them. None have any true claim to nobility in this world. Those days are gone. But we are not the monsters we have been cast as. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
I just don't know.
Just give it time. Give the Institute a chance. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in bioscience.
Vi ska ju hitta någonting för Virgil i alla fall.
Dr. Lee in advanced systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
The Institute. bara skräp här inne. Massa folders och skräp, pennor. Ja, okej. Jag är ju lite skeptisk till hela det här. Varför är ju just att... toalettpapper! Är ju att The Institute, även om de försöker göra någonting bra, så har de låtit hela övriga mänskligheten, det vill säga det som lever ovanpå ytan, verkar det som, leva i förfall. Då råkade blåsa skallen av en tant där och då blev det slakt. Roligt. Okej, Kellogg här. Nu har vi någonting. 16 juli 2285. Du behöver inte oroa dig över hur det gick. Kellogg occasional presence continues to unnerve the others. At first, I thought they were merely intimidated by his confidence and arrogance, or perhaps even afraid of his general being. Kellogg is, after all, a killer. But as I continue to witness their reaction, gosh, the sidelong glances, I've detected something else, something I probably should have anticipated. Jealousy. Kellogg is a living memorial to a forgotten program. He's an augmented human being, a cyborg, really. And the benefits he has received cannot be denied, but really the scientist here could not care less about enhanced reflex or greater combat efficiency. No, the cause of their envy is something more practical, more primal, is enhanced life expectancy. Just how long will Kellogg live if he passes naturally? However unlikely that may be, it's hard to say. He's already more than 100 years old, older certainly than any other human in the Commonwealth. His complete physiology has been altered. Perhaps he'll make it to 150, maybe even 200. Let the pity have their petty jealousies. Kellogg is a living testament to the ingenuity, the superiority of the Institute, and I take a small pleasure to knowing that must irritate him to no end. Okej. Då fick vi svar på att han var lastgammal. Unauthorized, director code required, okay. Nej, för jag tänker att de har ju låtit nu alla andra då bara leva i förfall. Här. Otroligt sunkig Doom-variant. Okej, där kommer vi ut.
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Passar det väl?
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me,
Terminal only. Can't break the code.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum.
Okej, vänta, vad skulle vi göra? Inside job, give holotape to Sturgis, meet the division leaders. Och sen var det ju någon... Vi hade ju någon...
Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below.
Vad heter det med Virgil?
Also,
dålig version av Doom.
You're here. Glad you made it. Father's work has been a real inspiration for me.
Involuntary switching and you just don't want to admit
I've had enough of it.
Så sagt, plundra det vi kan plundra till.
Why can't it have a soul? And if a synth has a soul, then it is
Doctor,
a living person by every standard time measure.
Our
Of course it is far more comfortable to think of them as machines. So we can do it with
En lång
centuries
blik.
of research.
Ja.
It's no exaggeration to say that they're superior in almost every way.
No robot is superior to me.
You might not think so now, but
Just wait.
You've only seen like I said, a momentous time.
Welcome to the Institute. Please step right this way.
Please don't get any germs on me.
Men det var en till med namn här.
The synths are treating you well, I hope.
The synth.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Father's legacy.
It's you.
He's
You're finally with us. I'd just like to apologize for any trouble our synths may have caused for you on your way here. They, of course, couldn't be told of your identity, and they have very specific protocols for protecting themselves and Institute interests, most of which I designed myself. Not to make problems for you, though. Will you be staying with us then?
Not a chance.
No? Well, I'm sure Sean is quite disappointed. I do hope you reconsider.
Det hade varit schysst. Okej, nu är vi på sektion röd. Synd. Här kommer inte heller in. Fanns inte ammo här ändå. Vem orkar läsa alla dessa terminaler och grejer? Kolla här! Okej, ska vi kolla var hissen går någonstans då. Så nu kommer vi till en smutsig hiss. Här håller de på med en utgrävning här. Ja, jag tänker så här. Nu, vi har inte pratat med alla ännu som vi skulle göra grejer. Men jag är ju piss för att de kidnappade Sean. Jag tänker högt här nu. Men Sean är ju inte vårt barn längre. Han är en vuxen karl med hår på bröstet och säkert förlorar oskulden och allt annat sånt där.
Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours.
Så...
Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do.
Tänker på hur...
People on the surface have got it pretty bad.
Ja.
Makes me thankful for being down here.
Hi, Doc.
Welcome. Welcome. It is so good to meet.
The only place I want to call home was destroyed.
Så
long
att...
time ago.
I'm
Men
truly
de har ju
sorry.
gjort livet
This
surt
must
för
all be
allt och alla
terribly
där
difficult
uppe.
for you. You should know that many of us consider it a great honor to have you here.
Why? Så stormtrooper här.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging their feet on the targeting package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me. You know, send a message.
Good to see you.
Please don't.
Tack.
There's enough
Pardon
friction
me,
as it
sir.
is between us.
Excuse me.
You look soft. My methods get results. This time as well.
Okej.
You'll see. Constant vigilance is vital in preventing synth escapes.
Vänta. Du hade någon namn. Justin A.
Hey, Doc.
So, here you are. Justin Mayo, acting director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Stay out of my way, or you'll regret it.
That sounds a bit like a threat. I'm sure I'm just misunderstanding you, though. Threats aren't advisable for someone in your position. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid it's lost on me. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
It was useless!
I hate to break it to you, but your Courser wasn't all that tough.
Then it's likely the unit was defective. It's rare, but faults can occur from time to time. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'm good for now, thanks.
Very well.
Like any machine, a synth can malfunction. Just wish it didn't happen so often.
Bajs. Jag bär för mycket. Inventory. Jag vill plocka upp några vapen som vi inte ska ha då. Den där missile launcher väger i sig 21. Så. Okej, jag plockar massa ammo av er så fick ni en missile launcher av mig. Det är väl okej, deal. Nej, jag tror att jag kommer inte stanna här.
Unknown identity.
Då får vi se vad som händer sen då.
The action in the K-14 compound. We'll
Nej.
start the next trial.
The dosage will be much
Från...
larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know.
Vi får reda på det om han blir piss eller inte.
Now hold still.
Novis, den här borde vi kunna hacka i alla fall.